Choose Chairman, thank you very much for letting me be part of that. And then a little reflection about the coronation itself. Now, I hope no one will think this is inappropriate to admit this, but I was lucky enough to be in the Abbey yesterday for the coronation. And I will admit, when the invitation came and my PA came in and said, "You never guess what's come," she said, the invitation to the coronation. I thought they were winding me up. I didn't think that, provincial mayors could possibly go and mix with royalty from around the world. But the mayors, Sadiq Carpenter of London, Andy Burnham from Manchester, myself, were actually given really lovely places to watch it. So I felt hugely honoured to be there and to see it. Because as I'm sure you work out, you can't see all of it. But they had wonderful big screens up right in the Abbey, so you felt you were right there for every piece. But it was an honour and a privilege to represent everyone across the West Midlands to be there. But I did just want to reflect on the service itself and the way in which Prince Charles, or I should now say the King, has changed the service. For those of you who watched the service, you will probably know it goes right back to 1066 in its origins, so you felt you were part of something that had gone on for a millennium. But there's obviously been some changes over the years, but a lot of it is incredibly conventional. So there was still a great talk about it being a Protestant king, and the king defending the Protestant church, just as has happened ever since Henry VIII. But, as I'm sure you all noticed, the king went out of his way to change the service in some key ways, to give a role to lots of faith leaders. And I was lucky enough, where I was sitting was literally just behind where the different faith leaders gathered. And I thought it was lovely in two ways, that they each had a formal role in the crowning, and you saw that they each read a piece. And when the king was leaving Westminster Abbey, the different faith leaders were gathered together for him to be able to pause with them and thank them. And to me, in the thing that never changes, over 1,000 years, he had chosen to make those important changes yesterday. And I think it said, I don't need to say anymore. You've all understood the significance of it. It was a reflection on what Britain is and what his time as our monarch will be. So it's wonderful that you've chosen to bring us together to celebrate the coronation in that spirit of togetherness. Thank you very much.
We would like to present these mementos to our dignitaries, and I call upon one of my colleague trustee, Jyoti Ramaya, and our founder chairman, Dr. Rahul. Please come to the stage, please.
We've got royalty here. Thank you very much.
Sean, please. Balaji, please. Thank you for coming. Please. I think rather than you come here, we'll give it from here. Thank you. Mr. Hamid Malik. Hamid Malik is the president of the Indian Muslims in UK, and he lives in Hong Kong.
If they can. If they can.
And finally, Colin and John, please do come. Both together.
Say we don't deserve this.
You do deserve it. Can you say in a few words what your involvement with this Balaji temple is, please?
Well, what do I say? It's been a great pleasure for me personally to have been involved in this temple from long before the temple existed on this site. And it was my great privilege to have been the project manager in the early days, to have obtained planning permission, to have seen off some of the opposition from the local people, which I'm pleased to say has now disappeared. And I think that the temple, all the devotees, by showing what a wonderful spirit you have, that I think you brought into your fold. So I'm very pleased.